Welcome back to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast. And in case you're just joining us, you're listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast with Emmy, Hikins, and Trevor.
I think it is, and that is we don't have to change our surname. So, in other words, that's more likely we're going to have a second or third generation of Trevor Gear Jr., M. Hikins Jr., but a woman won't have that, partly because I guess they change their surnames. They don't actually have to, but they usually do, or tradition is that they do. So why is there not a junior of a succession of women? And that just, to me, that kind of feels a bit unfair on women. But that's just another sort of thought. So just looking to see if there's any other advantages before we move on to the disadvantages, which I'll ask you to list in a minute. Let's have a look. I think that covers that, yeah. So we've looked at perhaps the best things about being a man. It has to be said as well, if the top two generally in research is that men don't have to have the babies, so we won't know childbirth, and men don't have periods, that doesn't exactly sound like, they're not positives about, isn't it great to be a man, we do this, we do that. It's actually saying what we don't have to put up with. So that kind of taps into what I felt last night. I thought, well, what are the best things about being a man? I mean, we have what's called Adam's curse, that men will always have to work because of, God, the way that Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, he said, right, well, after that, Shemozzle, shambles of behaviour in the Garden of Eden, I'm going to make men have to work much of their lives, work pretty hard. And women, they're going to have the pain of childbirth. I mean, this is all myth and legend, but that's how these things start. So both men and women, if you like, have definite disadvantages purely by the fact that they are men and women. So that's advantages of being a man, and I'm not sure either of us have sort of come up with too many great positives. So let's look at the negatives, because this could make us even more depressed. Actually, depressed without being funny about it. Did you know, and you probably do because we talked about it before, but in the UK, every day at an average of 14 men commit suicide. Men have 74% of all suicides in this country, and up to 50, between I think 24 and 50 are the most vulnerable ages. But yes, more men lose their lives in this country through suicide than vehicle accidents, for example. 14 men every day. So life can be tough on men and women, of course, but there does seem to be a major issue with male suicide, which is just worth mentioning as we're going into this. So can you tell me some of the disadvantages, if you haven't already said some, I don't know whether you have, of being a male, things you think, well, that's not very good. It's just because I'm a man, I get these disadvantages. What do you think?
It would depend on what part of the world you're in. It would depend. So in Saudi Arabia, for instance, men don't have what we have here. The women are not allowed to go out on their own. So, it depends on what part of the world what we're focusing it on.
Yeah.
But the disadvantages of being a man is numerous. So, for instance, children seem to love their mothers more. Boys, they seem to, I'm not saying all of them, but a good percentage of boys actually respect their mothers more than perhaps they would their dads. And that's sad, because the man is the one that was there, bringing in bread for the family when the woman was looking after the child. And he does that all his life, and he protects the family, and he'll, every little thing, it's the man, what you gonna do about this? What you gonna do about this? And you do all that, and yet the people you did it for take you for granted. It's a sad, it's a sad state of affairs for me, when I look at it. I think more men deserve more recognition when it comes to being in the lives of children, or and I don't know what's caused that, and we're not here to discuss that political side of things, but I just think emotionally, men are they worse off emotionally, and I wouldn't be surprised at the statistics. I know it's a true statistics about 14 men committing suicide, and this is not, and we're not even.
We're going to take a short break now. We're back shortly. You've been listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show with Trevor and Emmy Hikins. The Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast is looking for sponsors. If you're a company out there looking to spread the word about the products and services you provide, please get in touch with Deepstuff Radio Podcast on info@deepstuffrecords.com, or to use the contact form on our website to contact us, please visit radio.deepstuffrecords.com. Also, if you're looking to get involved on the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast, reach out via our Deepstuff Radio Facebook page. Thank you.